Ramaphosa remains ministers employed for now until a new government is sworn in, says Khumbudzo Ntshavheni. Cyril Ramaphosa will remain as president and ministers' jobs are safe for now until a new government is formed and the president is elected by members of parliament, according to Minister in Presidency Khumbudzo Ntshavheni. There's going to be a parliament process that swears in MPs and then elect a president. The system is determined by the Chief Justice, she said. Ntshavheni explained that some ministers will likely be unemployed when a new elected president announces his or her cabinet. She was responding to the nitty-gritty of 79 ministers having now to find new jobs. This is as the sixth administration is coming to an end, making way for the seventh one. South Africans cast their votes last Wednesday, May 29th, in a bid for a new government that would elevate their lives. In the election, the ruling African National Congress ANC suffered a majority defeat since winning the first democratic elections 30 years ago. The ANC obtained 40.18% support, failing to reach at least 50% support to retain absolute power in the country. This automatically forces the party to go into coalition government with opposition parties to form a new setup. This includes either the Democratic Alliance DA, Economic Freedom Fighters EFF, and Umkhonto weSizwe MK party. In the mix, ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula made it clear that they were willing to negotiate with others, but only if Ramaphosa remained the president. Mbalula said those parties who had such conditions should forget about it. Cyril is no-go area. You come to us with that demand, forget. Ramaphosa must resign? Why did he stand as a president? These are bad times. When we agreed at the ANC elective conference in Nasrec, it even meant for occasions like this. You don't run away, he said. On Sunday night, the Electoral Commission of South Africa IEC declared the election results free and fair at the National Results Operations Center ROC in Midrand. By law, the first sitting of the National Assembly must occur no more than 14 days after the election results are declared. Ntshavheni further said that the ANC's focus should be on restoring and rebuilding the ANC from the electoral outcomes and also prepare for the local government elections. Talks of formulating a new government are underway. Down but not out, says ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula. With election results not producing an outright majority for any political party, all roads now lead to the behind-the-scene coalition talks, which are expected to intensify today as the scramble to form a new government ensues. The ANC's failure to garner enough votes to constitute a government has left the door wide open for a coalition government, which the party said must reflect the will of the people, be stable and able to govern effectively. At the press briefing on Sunday, ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula said the party was down but not out. We suffered heavily, but we are not out. We are talking to everybody. There is nobody we are not going to talk to. We've been approached by political parties, as is normal. The outcome is clear. Nobody has an outright majority, so we'll talk to them. I've got a mandate from the leadership as of yesterday that we must engage with political parties who are engaging with us. We've got a team led by the Secretary General. We don't want to distort things. We're talking to the DA, EFF and MK party. We are looking at scenarios with the options before us. We are having an NEC National Executive Committee meeting on Tuesday which will report on these talks. The NEC will take a decision performed by its own analysis of these matters. We are engaging and we are open to engaging, said Mbalula. He said they entered this term with both a clear mandate and a firm commitment to improve the maintenance of infrastructure and the provision of services and communities throughout the country. EFF party leader Julius Malema said at the weekend that they would negotiate with the ANC. DA leader John Steenhuisen said now that the multi-party charter coalition partners would not help them gain a majority, the DA's federal executive has anonymously adopted a resolution to initiate exploratory talks with other political parties. The bottom line is that, collectively, the ANC, EFF and MK have the numbers to the power, while the multi-party charter MPC does not. To facilitate this process, the federal executive has appointed a negotiating team composed of Helen Zille, Ivan Meyer, Siviwe Gwarube, Alan Wende, Tony Leon and Ryan Kodze, to facilitate the engagement with other parties, he said. Steenhuisen said engagements with other parties would also be rooted in the 7 apex priorities outlined in the DA's manifesto. The Sunday Independent reported on Sunday that there was a covert agreement allegedly between the DA and ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa aimed at forming an informal coalition in the aftermath of the elections. Action SA, part of the MPC with the DA, noted Steenhuisen's remarks, saying that they confirmed plans to negotiate a potential coalition with the ANC. While the DA wishes to paint this decision as one necessitated by this election outcome, it must be clear that the DA leaders have spoken in favor of a deal with the ANC consistently since 2019. Action SA will be undertaking a 2-day Senate meeting tomorrow, during which a position relating to the electoral outcomes will be determined and communicated. In it, however, unlikely that Action SA will depart from its commitment to the South African people to not take the votes we receive from South Africans seeking change, only to give them to the very party that he created the crisis from which we need change 30 years into our democracy, said Action National Chairperson Michael Bultmont. UNISA political science professor Mlungi C. Bakati said nationally the ANC has 40%. They don't need the DA. There are other parties they can choose as well. If they work with the MK party, they won't need the DA. It can give them over 50%. It can also choose the EFF and other small parties, then they will be able to form a government. Gayton Mackenzie has said one of their demands is the Ministry of Home Affairs. Policy analyst Nkosi Kulule Nyembezi added that factions in the ANC would not allow for a coalition with the DA. The process of doing that nomination is good to happen on the floor. There will be a contest which will lead to an election. A substantial number of the ANC members will not vote for Ramaphosa going into coalition with the DA. And that's it from Inch's Network. Stay tuned to our celebrity and gossip news.